we have a light attendance this morning. We usually have quite a few more people. Can everyone hear okay? Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, perfect. Well, happy Friday. I think it's been a pretty fun week here at Fox Run. The costume happy hour was wonderful. We had a lot of really creative costumes, so thank you all that participated. I heard we already have some ideas for next year, so I'm excited to see next year. And the anniversary happy hour last night was last night, so thank you all for coming down. Happy 16 years again to Fox Run. I did just have a few announcements, and then I'll see resident announcements and then introduce our speaker. But I did want to introduce Marilyn Ben Hatzel. Marilyn, would you mind waving? Marilyn just moved in last week to Fox Run, so please welcome her when you see her. And I don't see any more of our new folks, but hopefully the next time. Just for announcements, I know you'll start on your newsletter this month. Mary Wellington, her new title is Care Coordinator. So she is, just a reminder, she's available to you to talk about any grief you might be going through, any loneliness. She had her first Coping with the Holiday group yesterday. She had about 10 people attend, which was great. Her next one is November 16th, 10 o'clock in the Creative Arts Room. You can see that up on the bulletin board, and feel free to sign up with Mary if that's something you feel you might benefit from this holiday season. I know it's not talk about Christmas too early, but I know we will not have another coffee hour in November because we have the holiday shop on the 17th, Friday the 17th. That'll be from 9 to 1, so feel free to come down, do some Christmas shopping. And speaking more about Christmas, we have our Christmas drive set up right outside the event center. So the charity we picked this year is Western New York Foster Closet. So they benefit families that have taken in foster children for the holidays. So any toys you'd like to donate, $25 gift cards to teens, we would greatly appreciate that, and that will go through November 27th. And if anyone is interested, on November 13th at 11 a.m., Dolly is going to be doing a group in the Creative Arts Room. Let's talk about assisted living. So if you've ever been curious about assisted living, or you want to speak about assisted living with her, any questions you have, feel free to sign up with Mary or Nettie for that. And anyone getting your COVID or RSV shot, it's actually in the Creative Arts Room today. We are all full. We had over 140 people sign up for that with Lori today, which is wonderful. So feel free, to attend your appointment. And if we have any openings, you can check in. I'm not sure about cancellations and things like that. Any resident announcements this morning? No? Okay, no resident announcements. Matt?
I just want to let everybody know I apologize. I dropped the ball on something. I didn't notify all the independent residents, but the independent generator is up and running. Okay, I will put some notices up in the mail room and on the bulletin boards, but it is up and running. Okay?
Yes, George.
I know this is early, but since there isn't another Yarn and Thread will be canceled in the month of December.
Okay.
We'll pick it up again in January.
So for anyone that didn't hear, Yarn and Thread will be, the announcement was that Yarn and Thread will be canceled in December, and it will be picked up again in January. So if you participate in Yarn and Thread, it will not be taking place in December. Yes?
Does Matt have any information on the pool?
Matt, do you have any pool update?
I'm still waiting on the 2 pool pumps to be fixed.
Okay, well, if there is nothing else, I would like to bring up Vicki Alfiero, from the Culinary Committee, to introduce our speaker today. Vicki?
Thank you, Allison. This morning I have the pleasure of introducing someone that many of you know, Is this
mouth a little closer.
like this? Yes. Can you hear?
Yes.
All right. Lisa is the very popular lady here. Anyway, when she was a child, she was asked, what would you like to do when you grow up? And she said, I'd like to be a chef. She completed her dream. She studied at Johnson & Wales, graduated as a magna cum laude in a double major, culinary arts and culinary nutrition. She also studied in France, in Paris, France, and she has they give you, it's not a degree, but you complete, what would you say you complete? It was
Certification.
Yeah, a certification, which is very hard because that is definitely a man's world. She also has a certificate from Conway, Wales. Wales? Yeah, okay. She has a very impressive background, and she has worked in hotels, she's worked in restaurants, she's worked in country clubs. She's worked very hard. She is the executive chef for Morrison's. She's been here since June 2010. And Morrison's is a subsidiary of the Compass Group. She's a very, very talented young woman, and we are very, very lucky to have her. She lives in Lancaster, New York, a beautiful little town with her family. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce one of my favorite people, Lisa Sanders.
Good morning, everybody. So here and with me today is my entire Morrison team, and then some. So this is going to be a good talk. I know we're going to get a few more people coming in as we go, but we are excited today. So we got to hear a lot about dining last week, and today we're going to talk about Morrison, because there's a lot of new people here and people who've been here for a long time, and we just want to clarify, what does Morrison do? Because that's a big question around here. So one of the things I'm actually going to start with is a little bit of myth busting of what Morrison doesn't do. Some of the things that are around the neighborhood here that we hear a lot. One of those first things is that people think that Morrison just delivers the food all done, ready to go, and we just heat it up. And that is not the case. We have a very talented culinary team here, led by Chris and Keith, and they cook everything from scratch, and you'll get to hear more about that as we go. The next thing, the food that we get, does it come from a big Morrison warehouse? No, there's no Morrison warehouse. They don't pick products like that. We get our food, like Bill said last week, from the same vendors that restaurants, country clubs, all other places get their food. So it is not just Morrison. There's no Morrison written on the boxes. Staffing. A lot of people wonder why we don't have staff, and that is not, Morrison provides the management staff. We are all present and accounted for. So we are here. The staffing, like we talked about last week, is the hourly staffing is Fox Run staffing. Morrison does a great job trying to help us get those hourly staff as well. But the hourly staff we have here are Fox Run. My favorite myth and question we get is, what does Morrison do with all the money we steal at the end of the month from your declining accounts? Morrison doesn't do that. The money that comes off of your account, Morrison doesn't even know what that is. That is more of a Fox Run declining balance policy. So they promise you there is no extra money that Morrison is taking out of your food budgets. Promise. They don't even know what we take. Okay? So those are kind of the few little points I want to start with. Next, I'm going to let our management team introduce themselves. So they're going to say who they are, how long they've been at Fox Run, how long they've been with Morrison, because for a lot of people that's a different number, and what their title is. So for example, my name is Lisa Sanders.
I am your Director of Dining Services. I've been at Fox Run for 10 years, but I've been with Morrison for 13 years. Okay?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. My name is Keith Gradowski, and I am a sous chef here. I've been with Fox Run for about 5 years, left for a little while and came back as a Morrison employee for about a year. So.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Franklin Darnley. I am the Regional Director of Operations for Morrison, and I guess I'd like to say how proud we are to actually be serving you in the community. Do I talk a little about my role or just how long I've been around?
You could talk about your role.
Okay,
Because
so I've been
you're a
around
fresh
for
face.
nearly 10 years. I know Lisa's got an agenda and I don't want to step on that, but my role, I'm not here on a day-to-day basis, but I am here to support Lisa and the team. So when things come up or she needs some extra support, that's kind of my function. I make sure that support gets to her when she needs it, whether that be culinary, financial, clinical, with the dietitians, and I can mobilize that support for her when she needs it.
Hi everyone, my name is Chris Reinhardt. I'm the executive chef here. I've worked at Fox Run 8 years, and I started as a cook, and I've been with Morrison for going on 2 years now.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Aaron Skolensky. I've worked at Fox Run for about 5 years.
Speak up, Aaron. Can't hear
Okay.
you, buddy.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Good, good. Now we're raising the bar here. All right. So my name is Aaron Skolensky. I've worked at Fox Run for about 5 years and made the switch to Morrison for a year now. And I am the Assistant Director of Dining Services. Go Bills.
Hi, can you hear me? Okay. I'm Anne Marie Nowicki. I'm the Nutrition Care Manager and Dietitian. I primarily work over in the health center, maintaining nutritional statuses over there of our residents. I help do nutrition talks and teaching kitchens over here. And I've been with Fox Run and Morrison for both 2 years.
Good morning. My name is Tina Jernatowski. I have been here for 2 weeks, so as the Assistant Director of Dining, and like Anne Marie, I'm also a registered dietitian.
Hi, my name is Tammy Whitmarsh. I've been with Fox Run for about a month now. I've been with Morrison for 23 years, and my role is a Dining Services Manager at the health center.
So as you can see, we have some new faces on our team, which is wonderful, and you're going to get to know them all very well shortly here. So now what I kind of want to do is go over what Morrison provides to support each of our managers and what we provide to Fox Run as a service for our dining team to make us run efficiently and do the best we can and do a great job. So from a culinary standpoint, for mainly Chris and Keith, there is a ton of culinary support and programs and resources. And those are 3 words you're going to hear me say a lot today, is program, support, and resources, because that's really what is provided. So Chris and Keith are in charge of all the menu development, the ordering, purchasing, inventory, promotions and programs, and all sorts of things. And that is provided as best as possible by Morrison. So they have a purchasing program that makes sure that we can buy the best quality food that we can get. They reach out to different vendors and different suppliers and make deals and get us the best products we can. So Chris and Keith order from, like I said, Cisco and the produce company. All of those companies are vetted and inspected and looked at through the food buy program at Morrison to make sure that they're keeping in line with all the standards. They're sending us the best produce, the best meats that we get. We get Tyson chicken and things like that. We're not just getting bottom of the barrel food. So those are all things that the food buy team through Morrison takes care of for us. So they're ordering and receiving the best products. With that, we have food rules. Food rules are really important to us. They are things that set us apart from different companies. We only buy sustainable fish and caught with sustainable practices. We only buy cage-free eggs. We only buy the milk without the hormones and the antibiotics. All of these things, if Chris and Keith wanted to even try to buy them, they wouldn't come in because it's set up that way so that we can only get the best of the best products. We have to use all fresh produce when available. We're only allowed to buy certain frozen produce. We can only get peas, corn, lima beans, things like that that you can only get really frozen because we're not shucking peas every day. We'll be there all day. But in turn, we peel all of our own fresh potatoes. They cook everything from scratch that they can. Every soup is made in-house. Every sauce is made in-house. And all the resources from the purchasing program are very helpful to them in order to do that. They have standardized recipes, especially within our health center, to serve all the different varieties of living here. So we do have a recipe website, which is super helpful and very great. They can, especially for daily specials, stray from those recipes. One of the questions we get, does Morrison make our menu and do we have to stick to it? The team here works together with our dietetic team and our culinary team to create our menus, and we can put as much, if they do have a core menu, we do look at it, but we create a menu based on your needs and wants, and to please the majority. The core menu does not have fish fry every Friday, that's for sure. So we make sure to make those changes to make our community members happy. But with that, there's a mass recipe source that they can use to find different recipes. They use those for our cooking classes, for our teaching kitchens, and a lot of different things. So it's a really good resource that they have. And that's especially helpful when we get to more of our dietitian talks as well, of how that supports Anne-Marie and Tina. There is a whole web base of promotions that we have. So we've run a lot of different promotions and a lot of different things. You've seen superfoods, we do fun holiday menus, teaching kitchens, and all of those are promotions that are created in a how-to, ready-to-go kit through Morrison that we can implement at any time. Okay? I know I talk fast, so I'm trying to take little breaks. So that's a lot about the culinary role. There's a lot of food safety pieces as well, and that's something that Tammy has really taken a huge part of for our health center. All of our logs and lists and things that we keep to keep us deficiency-free for the Department of Health, whether that's an independent, skilled nursing, or assisted living. So Morrison provides all of those resources to make sure that we stay in line. And let me tell you, there are a lot of logs. Has anyone here done a kitchen tour? Yeah. So you've seen all those things that we make sure to wash all of our produce in before it comes in. All of the temperature logs, all of the taste logs, everything that we have to keep track of to make sure that we're in line and taking care of everybody and making sure everything is safe. Okay? As far as next, Aaron's more of a front of the house guy. He has what we call a day maker rally. We call it showtime sometimes too. That is pre-service training that Morrison provides. So every day there is safety tips, there is fun food fact, which the servers really like. There is a service training, so we're trying to teach them, and a lot of that is in a nice little kit, ready to go, and we go through it every single day with the servers and try to teach them something every day. We do the same thing over in the health center and gear that a little bit more towards the cooks, so they change a little bit based on the position, and that's a big thing. We rally every day, we get together, we talk about the meal, we talk about what's going on. Hey, make sure we're doing all of this, and that's a big program that Morrison provides to help us be in line with everything. Okay? All good so far? Aaron does a lot more than that too. That's just one of the tools that I thought of right now just to incorporate him. Over in the health center side, it's definitely a little bit of a different world too. Anne-Marie as our nutrition care manager, and Tina as our assistant director, who's also a registered dietitian, which is huge. They run the nutrition part of the health center. Remember that recipe base I talked about? It's called Webtrition. So they have to go through for every resident and every diet and make sure that it's a balanced meal and everything is ready to go and compliant and good for each community member. So they go through that site to make sure it's a balanced meal for their days. They are also in charge of a lot of programs in Independence. So you've seen them do the nutrition talks, you've seen them do the teaching kitchens with our chefs, and you'll see even more opportunities coming up now that once Tina gets her feet a little bit wet after 2 weeks. Her first day she walked in, the Department of Health also did, so thank you for bringing that. So there's going to be more office hours available for independent residents to be able to If you have dietary needs, dietary concerns, you'll be able to meet with Tina and Marie coming up. There's going to be more classes, more who took your part in the Move Your Mind class before COVID? Anybody? See, that's good. So we are going to have some more of those classes being brought back that are going to be available for our independent community members as well. So you'll see a lot of that coming up. And all of that is, as Franklin said, from our regional support. We have a nutrition team that creates these programs that can be put out through all communities across the country. Okay? And then Tammy, like I talked about, she's really taking charge in our health center. She's got 23 years of Morrison experience. That's very valuable to us. So she's bringing over some new team members as well from another account that has some people that they can spare, so they're going to be coming over as well. So that's huge that Morrison's going to be providing us, because as we know, my main goal is to get the skilled nursing onto China and dishes. Allie likes that in the back.
Me too.
Yeah, so that, and of course, that's my whole team's goal. So we are working on that first and foremost. So that's kind of a bit of an overview. One of the other things that for everybody, it might not be something we think about every day. Safety is huge. So we have a huge safety program. I think Pierre likes that one because it eliminates, hopefully eliminates, lessens any workman's comp claims, any issues, because we are required to have different oven mitts, different gloves that we wear for cutting, certain personal protective equipment for when the utility members or anybody is handling chemicals, and that keeps us in line safe. So that not only helps the employees, but of course Fox Run as well. So that's a huge initiative that we have there. There's a lot of training opportunities that are available, and we don't really think about that are available for Morrison employees, and as well as Fox Run employees. So anything that Morrison has can be translated down to the Fox Run hourly employees as well. So there's culinary training programs, there's food safety training programs, there's all sorts of trainings and traveling and things that are available to our Fox Run employees as well as our Morrison employees that make us do better. I know I've talked a lot and I'm sure you have questions. Let's open it up for a couple of questions, and if it's for me or any of the team members, they are all willing to answer. Yes, Marja.
Once upon a time, we used to have a website that was accessible to residents. I heard that a new one was being worked on, maybe? Is that coming back, and is it coming back anytime soon?
I will look into that and see if the website is available. It's something we can utilize. Some of that stuff, especially sidebar a little bit with the last couple of years, but we can definitely see if that's available to bring back. We used to have the kiosk in the bistro so you could see the nutrition facts and things like that of our menu items, is what Marge was
I used to be able to compare the different entrees that were available on any given night, so I knew what was nutritionally best for me without having to go to Anne-Marie.
Yes, we will definitely look and see if that is something we can bring back coming up here.
How do you arrive at the cost of each meal?
So the cost of each meal, as far as the $10 or $15 on your menu items, so those costs, as we know, are not realistic costs for the outside world, right? So those costs are really more of a measure so that we can gauge how much everybody's making or eating. So that it's more of a gauge for that. The cost of the food doesn't really reflect the cost of those items as much. It's more, of course, if it's prime rib, it's $15. But if you're going out to a restaurant, you're not getting prime rib for $15. So it's more of a buffer gauge, but it's not an equation that exactly works out. Ms. Weedman, I believe you had a question?
I did. Thank you. I want to put in a plug for Fox Market. Chris, and I think Keith is in on this too, is just wonderful. I often order it. It's a bit more expensive and a step up from our regular meals. I use it when I have guests. Yes, we have to do a bit of cooking, but I've always found that my guests like to pitch in. It's wonderful, and I appreciate it so.
Thank you, they do a great job.
Who makes the soup?
Question is, who makes the soup? Most days, Jerry Carey makes the soup.
It's wonderful.
But we all like to try it, but he does a great job.
Who makes the desserts?
Depending on the dessert. Some we buy, some we make. It depends on the dessert.
Okay, who makes the pies?
It depends on the pie. Some pies we make, some pies we buy.
Like they were frozen a lot.
I'd like to comment on the menu. I understand that you can go down to the bistro and get a takeout menu. If you have too many guests to take to the bistro, I understand you can go and get like 5 servings. However, if you want the takeout, Memorial Day, July 4th, Labor Day, the only takeout for residents who don't want to do was hot dogs. Now, why there had to be hot dogs for all the holidays? Why couldn't there have been other choices?
I don't think we realized we did that. So now we know, and next time we can change them up for the holidays. Thanks for pointing that out. That's not a problem. We can fix that. Next time we can rotate between hamburgers and other holiday foods.
I have only one thing to say about it. My kids absolutely love it when I order your food and take it to their house. All I can tell you is I love everything, but I want to compliment all of you because I love everything I eat here at Fox Run. God bless all of you and thank you for being here.
She's coming around, Miss Flake. Oh, wait for the microphone. Wait for the microphone.
My voice is pretty loud.
No, it's not.
Not at all. If I have my information correct, the reason that we're having so many bistro nights, etc., is because we're short on staff. And it must be we're short all over. But why is that? I mean, we used to, before COVID, we used to have an abundance of high school and sometimes college students who are our servers. And I can't believe that, are we not reaching out to them? Are we not paying enough? I mean, this is ridiculous that we are so short of staff when there are people who need work, and there are still students who this time slot would be perfect for them to work.
So I hear everything you're saying. I'm gonna give you the short version of that a little bit because I want you to try and, we'll get you to see the last coffee hour where we talked about that for a good amount of time, a lot of those answers. So we'll make sure you can see that, but for those of you who weren't here, there is a world staffing shortage of service level employees. The high school students, we do reach out, Peer does it, constantly calling the schools. We do have a lot of high school students, but their availability is 1 day a week. So the world has changed a little bit. There's a lot of people who used to maybe work 2 jobs who don't do that anymore. This is a world problem. It's not just a Fox Run problem. We're doing our best to fill those positions, but it's not pay. That's one of the things that I really want to say. It's not pay for the servers. That's not the issue. They are just very busy. They have missed out on a lot of life in the last couple of years, and the ones we have are great, but they only will work, say, Saturday, and then it takes us 8 weeks to get them trained instead of 2 weeks if they worked a few days. So it's definitely a struggle, and it's going to be a constant struggle. I don't find comfort in that it's everywhere besides here, because we want to be Fox Run, we want to be the best, we want to be better, but it is everywhere. That's why a lot of restaurants are not open on certain days. Tim Hortons will close at 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock, so it's a world problem that we're working through. Things have changed.
Here?
I don't know if you have a little laryngitis, but, please know that we do all that we can. We go to job fairs, we hold job fairs, we reach out to the high schools. We reach out to the high schools. We leave no stone unturned in getting staff in here. And like Lisa said, there's certainly no consolation to me in my department to say that it's a worldwide problem, a nationwide problem, because it is, because we're Fox Run. And we pride ourselves in being a little different than the rest of the world and the community. So please know, rest assured, that we are leaving no stone unturned. We are in constant contact with the high schools. We have, I think it's, used to be Purple Briefcase, but I think it's Handshake now, with the community colleges and all the SUNY schools to reach out to folks to get these positions filled. So we are working on it, and it is a constant struggle, and that is like at the top of our priority list to get staff in here. So please know we are working on it, and we know it as well. That
Are we competitive?
Oh yes, we definitely are. We are competitive. Yes. So like Lisa said, salary is not the problem. It's just, I don't have a reason for it. It's just how it is right now. But do know that we work on it daily.
Good job. Thank you. I just have a quick question. Do you have a secret password or something for small portion? When I ask for a small portion, there are sometimes it's just humongous.
So the question was, how do you get a small portion in so many words? Small's relative. So what's small to me and small to you might be different. And sometimes when, say, you want a half a portion and it's a half a chicken leg, what are we gonna, so take the whole and eat what you can, because I can't do anything with the other half. We'll try to get better at small, especially if it's to-goes. Sometimes they don't want to get the wrong person a small portion, so everybody gets the same portion. Yes, Janice?
Lisa, did you ever consider asking or using residents to help?
I don't think we would be allowed to do that.
I know a really good cake baker.
There's quite a few conflict of interest and liabilities associated with you. And you're supposed to be enjoying life, not cooking and doing dishes. That's our job. Yes, Ms. Brenner? Oh, sorry, were you going somewhere else? I'm sorry.
I've been wondering for a while if we could get a little better description about what the foods are. People say, well, what are Prudites? Or what's a chukery board? Or what's Florentine mean? And it just says on the menu what it is, what the thing is, but it doesn't give us any idea of what might be in it. We ask the servers and then they're not sure and they go back to the kitchen, and so it's this...
It's a production.
Yeah, it's a big production to find out what it is that we're going to be eating, so...
Yeah, Aaron, we can work on that.
For me, I don't like capers. So I'd like to know when there's capers in things. And I know other people have things with mushrooms. They'd like to know that this dish has mushrooms in it because they don't like them or they have an allergy or whatever it is. So can we work on somehow getting better descriptions?
Yes, we will work.
At least in the dining room.
In the dining room, yes. We won't be able to fit them on your weekly menu. So when you're calling for your order or if you see somebody ask for that, but we'll try to do a little bit better on the things that need more descriptions on the menu. Something like lasagna, might be okay, but yes, we understand when we say chicken oreganata, what is that? So we'll try to do a little bit better.
We have a lot of new people coming into Fox Run, a lot of new younger people. I know we already have a lot of people that need a diabetic diet, so I guess this is for the dietitians. How do you do that? What do you do with the people who are vegetarians? And even harder are the vegans. But before you answer that, I want to say I've been here a long time, and this team, and especially Lisa, she's a national award-winning chef. So be aware of that, folks.
Thanks, Barb. Okay, So, vegan and vegetarian. I don't know if we have any vegans, but I don't know everything about everybody. Vegetarians, we work with us on that. We have our Meatless Monday, so clearly that's not enough because you can't only eat on Monday. We work within the menu, for the menu, substituting, changing, all of that is perfectly fine. I know it's a little bit tougher right now with the buffets and the bistro nights, but we'll work with that. As far as diabetic diets, I can definitely pass this down, but I think the best option is look for the open office hours that are going to be coming out shortly, and that's a good time where you can have a one-on-one and really ask your own questions, because there's going to be a lot of questions about that. So that's really what we're looking forward to, having that available soon. That won't be too far out. Okay? Any more questions? Yes?
How much of the issues we've been talking about are highly correlated to the bottom line? Lisa's given a budget, and I don't know how often you throw yourself on the floor, flail around, and try for something higher. But both the special diets and the lack of servers seem to me to be related to what you are given to work with. Morrison's website is very clear about their standards and what they will do to meet resident needs. That's not being done, and that's in the case of...
Say it wasn't being done, I asked how we would be going to address it. I think I've gone to the girl, not this particular team, but they've always been very nice about making those suggestions. So yeah, I would beg the question. It's more of a going forward. I know a couple of vegetarians or special diets, gluten-free type of things, but that's the dietitians. They can help probably pretty well.
I'm thinking more of the diabetics I've spoken to, and that, that has been a difficult issue. And I know there's a problem out there recruiting people, but I sometimes wonder, we've been offering, and correct me if I'm wrong, $11 an hour with no tips.
No. Minimum wage, New York State minimum wage is $14.20. It'll be 15 in January.
I thought that did not relate to us.
No, that's us.
So our servers are being paid $14.50.
Our servers are being paid, it's their first jobs. So our servers are being paid what they're paid.
At least, right.
At least minimum wage, of course. We would never pay them under. This is their first jobs. This is with having no experience. There is no tips, that is correct, but the wage is accommodated for that. So if they were in a regular restaurant, their wage would be much lower. So that is why it is that way. And we aren't allowed to take tips from you.
Is it possible to tweak some of the other things, like no tips? They can't benefit the kids with Slavos.
Well, there's the community fund that you can always utilize, but they can't take tips with regulations here, being in a CCRC, they can't take tips. So that's why there's the employee fund that they can benefit from at Christmas time, or the holiday time. But really, with their experience, this is a great entry-level first-time job for them, and I really want to emphasize that pay is not the issue for that.
So that's
policy? That is like state regulations, state policies, that they are not allowed to accept tips here.
Okay, and the way we remunerate them in November is state policy or Fox Run?
Fox Run.
Okay. Could that be somehow modified to provide an incentive to the kids that are available during holidays, summer? And
they're all accounted for in all of that. Anybody on payroll. So the question, just to summarize, was, is there any budgetary issues that we have to try to improve things? And I'm going to be very clear. that the budgetary issues are not the issues. If we had a creative idea, if we had something great, which we do all the time, Bill, Jill, the board of directors, everybody is on board with trying to get this fixed within a, that's not a issue within the budget. It's more an issue with the dietary needs that you were talking about. We're getting there. We've gotten our new dietitian, we've got a team, we've got some plans, and this is all great stuff coming up. But in the interim, as you all know, our management team is working shifts every single day. So it's hard to make forward progress sometimes, but we're getting there. Okay?
Hi, I just wanted to ask to clear something. Just wanted to clear something.
Close.
Okay, the servers, the servers, are they or are they not a part of the appreciation?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Every employee, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Every employee except the leadership team, they participate in that employee appreciation fund. So yes, from the 16-year-old dishwasher server to whomever, everyone except for the leadership team.
Okay, I think, there's another one?
Just to clarify, the pay for the servers, the first time hiree gets $14.20, or do they move up to $14.20, the minimum wage?
The minimum wage currently is $14.20. In January 1st, it will be $15.
And if they've been here a while?
They automatically go up. They have to go up.
But when you first get hired, do you get hired at the $14.20, or do you move up to that?
You get hired at $14.20,
Okay.
and then if you've been here long, you get your normal increases and merit raises as you go.
Okay.
Any more Morrison questions? Just because I have this great team here, I don't want to not use those questions.
This isn't a question, it's a thank you to the culinary team and to Lisa. They put in many hours, they listened, they examined what people wrote, they really resulted in some big changes. They may not be monumental, but we can't move a ship overnight.
We'll try.
And I appreciate it.
I think that's a lot of questions. And then if you have any more, feel free to reach out to us at any time. Thank you, team, for coming down on your day to make sure you feed everybody. But you'll see these faces. You'll hear about the open hours. Any other questions, you always know where to find all of us running around. Okay? And then back to Allison.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, everyone from the Morrison team. As being a former Morrison employee, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, a lot that everyone on the team does day in and day out to keep things running when we are short-staffed. So again, thank you for everything you do here, and go Bills, everyone. Have a good Friday.